is our most precious resource. And managing this time, especially as a small business owner, is one of the best skills you can build. In this video, I'm going to show you how I manage my time while being a 9-to-5 worker full-time while also running 2 businesses. Let's get right into it. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? My name is Maricruz. I am an engineer, environmentalist, and entrepreneur. And in this channel, I show you how to start and grow your small business sustainably while working full-time. Now, there are a million ways to manage your time. There's a million productivity videos you can watch here on YouTube. I've watched nearly all of them, and honestly, I've tried nearly all of them. And this method here, the one that I'm showing you today, is really the only one that has worked for me. So I'm hoping it works for you as well, and it has the same results like me, because now I feel like I can really prioritize my time and manage my time in an efficient way. I call this method the ideal week calendar method. This is not a calendar that you're gonna use every day. It's more of a reference. Prioritize how you spend your time during your ideal week. I'll explain. So this is what mine looks like. It's basically blocks of times dedicated for different areas of your life. And I'll show you a little bit more at the end of like the specifics of how my calendar is laid out. But what makes this calendar different than what you've seen potentially in the past is that it is an ideal life calendar. As an entrepreneur, unfortunately, your business kind of becomes your life, and it becomes intertwined with your life as well. So it makes no sense to have a work calendar and then a personal calendar, especially if you're running multiple businesses or if you're working full-time at the same time. And also, we're not getting too specific with this calendar. It's more like big blocks of time for different areas of your life. So for example, I know I have to go to work 9 to 5, right? So I'm gonna have the big blocks in the calendar, Monday through Friday, for that 9 to 5. I'm not gonna write every single meeting that I have at work that day, but I just have a big block that says C-Spine, which is where I work. Before actually jumping into the Google Calendar and creating these time blocks, I need you to grab a pen and paper or pencil, whatever, or maybe if you want to do it on your phone, and you have to make a list of your non-negotiables. What I mean by non-negotiables, these are the things that you absolutely have to do in your ideal life every single week. I'll give you some examples. My list included things like a slow morning and a bedtime by 9:30, 1 hour of movement a day, obviously my 9-to-5 job, and also check-ins with my partner every day, and cooking at home, and a clean house, which is super important. Cluttered-free spaces, clutter-free mind. Once you have your list, we can start populating your Google Calendar. So if you don't have a Google account, where have you been? You kind of need one to run a business. You can open one free, super easy, and just make up any Gmail. Or you can, I think you can use any email for Google. Once you have a Google Calendar, you can either rename a calendar that you have, or you can create a new one. I would suggest creating a new one. That way you can hide and unhide it from your calendar, your general calendar. Also, once you have your calendar, make sure to click on the 3 dots as I'm showing here. Go into your settings and make sure you can rename it. I called mine Ideal Life. You can call it whatever you want. Make sure you turn off all the notifications so you're not receiving email reminders for these. I definitely forgot to do this and ended up with this type of inbox, and it is not fun. That was way too many. Okay, so now you have your new calendar, we can start filling it in. I would start with like the beginning and the end. So what time you want to wake up, and then what time you want to go to bed. Those are like your end caps. If you have a full-time job, go ahead and put those in as well. Those are easy. And then you can start filling in with depending on what your non-negotiables were, and just fill in the gaps. After inputting everything, it will look something like this. Okay, so here is my Google Calendar. As you can see here, I have my wake up slowly, morning routine, bike commute, train commute, He's fine, that's my 9 to 5. During lunch, I have to take a walk or do yoga. Then I do another time block, commute. There's my cooking, dinner, day debrief with my partner. Then I have computer time. And of course, you have my nighttime routine and bedtime, which are super important to me to keep me sane. Basically repeat this Monday through Friday. You can also customize specific days for example, computer time, but I'm going to focus on sun mud this day, and you just do it for this event. And then you'll see I have there computer time for sun mud. Maybe on Mondays, I want to work on Menos Waste. And so I will write down Menos Waste. I can write. Save it again just for this event. And now I have Menos Waste there for Monday. Could do that for all of the computer times, but I'm not going to bore you with that. And there you have it. You have your ideal week calendar. And I'm telling you, once you have this, it's so much easier to prioritize your time. I don't know if you saw my video on the 4 lessons I learned while starting 3 businesses in my PhD. I'll leave that here. But one of those lessons was that really time management is about time prioritization. So much more important to prioritize your time than to manage your time or like stretch your time. There's no such thing. We all have the same amount of time, right? An example of how I use this calendar, say my bookkeeper or a friend wants to hang out Tuesday at 6:30, and I look and I'm like, you know what, I'm really prioritizing in my ideal week to cook at home and to debrief with my partner every day and connect with him. So I might change that meeting to another day or the weekend, or maybe during my computer time, not during my dinner time, and make decisions in that way, because I know if I don't cook at home, then it's gonna affect my next day, right? Then I don't have lunch and then I have to eat out, all these things. Or I don't have time to connect with my partner, and then I start feeling disconnected, all these things. So I don't want to veer too much from my ideal week. Of course, I don't stick to it like hour by hour, and things happen, and sometimes there's events or sometimes there's family gatherings that I have to move things around. But in general, I try to stick to it because I know this is the plan and this is the ideal week that will allow me to show up in my businesses, my full self. Lastly, I just wanted to mention that I did choose Google Calendar because it's free and mostly everyone, actually I just realized you need a Google account for YouTube. So if you're watching this, you already have a Google account. See, easy. You can use it, you can edit it, you can change it however many times you want, and it's just super easy. Did I mention it was free? Yeah. So it's free. So there's really nothing stopping you from making this. Make sure you make your list of non-negotiables first and then get right into it. And you'll see that things start kind of making sense. You start prioritizing the right things and you start being really successful in managing your time. Well, that is all I have for you today. I hope you give it a try. If you do, let me know in the comments. And you already know, until next time, don't forget, Poquito goes a long way. I'll see you next week. Ciao.